Good morning. So I have fresh shower hair. We have a fire alarm that needs the battery changed. And I'm about to eat some breakfast. It's gonna be a good day. So I started on April 12th. Today is April 19th. And so we're gonna talk about my last week, how I feel about it, pushing myself a little bit differently. And I'm also meeting up with Yeniz later today. We're gonna talk about how to start preparing for a DEKA as a beginner. And then I have some other fun things that I plan on doing today, like climbing, spending time with my babies. Where are you? Babu. Yes, you sweet thing. And yeah, so we're starting with some breakfast. Let's get to it. For breakfast this morning, I decided to keep it simple. It's just avocado toast with 200 milligrams of egg whites. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Seconds and 808 minute per mile. It's gonna be awesome.
We chatted so long before we started that the camera cut off, and so I restarted it and then we chatted again. The thing is we have a great conversation, so I didn't capture much of us climbing, but that's okay. Just documenting the experience so that I remember in the future, you know? Today I did so good at holding and not over gripping the handholds. And it felt so good. So it reminded me of this talk. The speaker was talking about holding onto your faith and not gripping. And I just think that it's so interesting because the motions are like the same, but there's like a confidence in holding. So like applying that to climbing, like when I am sure-footed and climbing with good form, so like using my lower body like I should be using it, then going up I don't over grip, so I don't exhaust my hands and my forearms as much. They still get used, they still get tired, but when you over grip and you're like, gotcha. Like your arms fatigue, I don't know, it just messes everything up. And then it's when you can't hold on, you can't, I don't know. A tendency in my life to over grip whatever it is that I'm doing. And that is why, like, it's that all or nothing mentality to a degree. Maybe this is a stretch of a whatever, but I'll see you at Yeniz's. All right, so I am here at I-F.I.T with Yeniz. Hi. Q&A that I did, you asked what I would recommend to do as a beginner if you wanted to do a DEKA. And I'm not really qualified to answer that, but Yeniz is. Yeniz is the owner of I-F.I.T and a Spartan SGX coach, and her gym is a DEKA affiliate gym. So she works with DEKA and has got certifications through them. So not only has she been a personal trainer for years and years and years and years, she owns I-F.I.T and then works with Spartan. She was actually on the Spartan TV show as a coach, so that's pretty cool. But she is going to talk to us a little bit about the DEKA movements, and then at the end of the video, I will share more of my thoughts and how I prepare for DEKA. The DEKA is known as the Decathlon of Functional Fitness, and it is made up of 10 zones. For the DEKA Strong, it is just the 10 zones. Before we dive into the DEKA though, I asked Yeniz what should a complete beginner, someone who hasn't been working out, what should they do first?
Our bodies are designed to move. We move it. So if we don't move, it's like a motor, like a machine. If you don't move it, it just gets rusty, right? So just start moving. It is really important for our body, for health, for our joints, for longevity. Just get up from the couch and start doing something. There are many options. It doesn't have to be boring, and it doesn't have to be too complicated. You don't have to have super high expectations of doing all this at once or go all super hard. Just as long as you try to do 10, 15, 20 minutes of the day, just moving your body is going to help you to improve your health and improve your physique.
So we're gonna go zone by zone, and we're gonna start with the lunges.
The DEKA lunges are reverse lunges, and they are performed for women is 33 pounds, and for men is 55 pounds. You can carry the frame to the side if you want, if you feel more comfortable with it, or you can put it behind your neck. It's really whichever way you feel more comfortable. And then the lunges, you must touch the ground every time you go down. So your knee should touch the ground. If you don't have access to the ramp, you can perform it with a dumbbell, or you can do just regular or body weight lunges, as long as they are going reverse and always trying to go to the ground. If you're a beginner and this movement may cause some pain or may not feel really good for you, you can start always grab something like a wall, a frame, or a door, and just use it for assistance until you feel more comfortable and more stable to perform the movement. You can start with just regular lunges, and even just basic, like not bringing your knee all the way to the ground, but just bringing your foot back. That will feel that better.
So the next zone, zone 2, is a row. We're gonna show you what to do if you don't have access to a gym with a row machine.
The row machine is a cardio equipment, so you need to alternate this with something that stimulates your cardio, because anyway you're gonna need that to perform all the 10 zones together, okay? But so the rower machine is basically you're gonna start with your elbows straight, and all you're doing is you're gonna bring the back toward you. The rower, there is a little bit of movement on your back, so you wanna perform that way, keeping your core tight. Go forward and back, forward and back. That's what you can do if you don't have access to the rower. And for the rower, it is a cardio. So the basic idea is find something that bring your heart rate up. It could be walking, jogging, going up hills, anything, or jumping jacks, jump rope, any movement that helps you to feel better.
Zone 3 is 20 box jumps or box step overs, or you can even go up on your knee, which is still a step over.
The box is 24 inches for everybody. If you don't have access to a box, you can also find a bench outside or the steps of your house and just work on those. As long as you're bringing your knee high and working on those hip flexors, it's gonna be really helpful for you. So a lot of people find these really high and intimidated. And so one of the things that they allow you to do in DEKA, as long as you don't use your hands, you can go on your knee and then step up. Okay, and then you can turn it around, go on your knee. DEKA zone 4 is medicine ball sit-ups at 25, and the weight for the ladies is 14 pounds and for the guys is 20 pounds. The only requirement is the ball must touch the ground at the top of your head, and it must touch the ground between your legs. You must also show that you're fully seated at the top.
What is something they can do if they are a complete beginner to simulate this?
Crunches will be a really good thing to do if you're a beginner or you don't have access to the ball, or you still have trouble sitting all the way up. I will always recommend to do regular crunches. That would be a good start. Or you can also anchor your feet somewhere to help you a little bit at the beginning. Put some weight on your toes or anything that helps you to keep those feet on the ground.
So zone 5 is going to be the ski erg for 500 meters, and Yeniz is going to show you an option if you don't have access to a ski erg or a row machine, something that you can do to work on the movement.
If you don't have access to the ski erg at home, get a really light band and you can put it up high. Just make sure that you finish the movement behind your thighs all the way up and hinge in front of you. The skier, if you don't have access to the skier, jump rope will be like one of those movements that combines your arms and feet at the same time. And it's a cardio. Again, the rower as the skier as the rower is a cardio equipment, but anything that can help you to kind of pull in motion on your arms. DEKA zone 6 is farmer's carry. It is 100 meters, and the weight for women is 40 pounds, and for the guys is 60 pounds each. It is performed with dumbbells. Okay, if you're a beginner and you don't have access to the dumbbells, you can carry anything in your house. Get a bucket, get a couple bags. You can practice this at the grocery store. Every time you go from your car to your house, just park a little further and carry those bags with you.
Zone 7 is the air assault bike for 25 calories.
The main reason to have the bike is a cardio exercise, so if you can replace it for another cardio, but to simulate something I can think of is doing mountain climbers, in which you're gonna be moving your legs, like in that circle motion circle.
I think that's good.
Like making circles with your feet. Zone 8, it is 20 times that you have to throw over your shoulder, and the weight for men is 60 pounds and for women is only 40 pounds.
What can someone do if this isn't available to them yet? If they can't do 40 pounds over the shoulder?
Okay, so if you cannot do 40 pounds, just any weight that you have access to, and if you don't have anything that you can throw, you can always pick up a dumbbell, a rock, a bag, your kids, whatever, just don't throw the kids over the shoulder. Pick it up and you can simulate just bringing it over your shoulder. If it's anything that you cannot throw, but the basic motion is you want to get down, bending your knees, so it's a squat, and you're bringing the weight over your shoulder. Make sure that you don't actually hinge too much from the hips, because as with the big numbers and the heavy weight, it's gonna really start bothering your back.
So the tank push-pull is 100 meters, and it is a resistance-based activity, so as you push the tank forward, it pushes back and gives you resistance. She suggests doing mountain climbers against a wall and really pushing against that wall when you're doing them to simulate this activity.
So is the ramp burpees. It is only 20, and because everybody loves burpees, we add the ramp to it. Ramp burpees, you don't always have to jump both feet. The only requirement for the competition is that your chest must touch the ramp, and you have to stand up tall, and you don't have to fully extend at the top, so the ramp need to go only over your head. So a good modification, or no, it's a modification, but it still counts for the competition, is you can go one step at a time. You can put your knees down, bring your chest, and then you can walk one foot, opposite foot. Like breaking the movement in pieces, but you still performing all the requirements.
And for a beginner, just new to burpees, they can do things like using like a box.
You can do half if you don't have that push-up yet.
So what is the purpose of doing DEKAs for a beginner?
Really, it's just do something, moving. These workouts or these movements are set the way that everybody can do it. So purpose for a beginner is just to start. Get your DEKA mark, get just one, do it one time, and then repeat it, do it again to see how much you have improved.
Much, Yeniz, for helping me with this video. I hope that answers your questions on how to prepare for a DEKA. And if you have more questions, drop them down below, or go check out Yeniz's Instagram and send her a DM. She will be more than happy to help. So, see you guys in a little bit. Alrighty, just got home. I've got a delicious salad with some Bold House Farm cilantro avocado yogurt dressing. So I have 2 servings of this dressing on my salad. This is an entire thing of lettuce, of the organic spring mix. And then it is about 5 ounces of steak. So, and that is it. We don't have any tomatoes, so this is just what I'm eating. And I'm excited. I'm so grateful for Yeniz for being willing to make this video with me. I hope that it's helpful or interesting. If you have no intention of ever doing a DEKA, that you found it interesting. She just went over the movements and gave some options. So what a part of that question was, what do I do to prepare? Since the first one, like, my priority has just been improving my endurance. Like the very first DEKA that I did, I would push so hard in each exercise that I was just, it was very hard for me to recover after. And so I've been focusing on improving that recovery period. And I do that by putting some of the harder movements for me. Like I'll do step overs, burpees, row, step over, burpee, row, step over, burpee, row. Like and then move on to the next. So that way I'm like going through and I'm working on each movement. The Friday video this week, I think I'll have footage of one of my DEKA prep workouts. And I think I just did one not too long ago where I was getting ready. So I haven't done a ton of workouts. I've done about 2 workouts a week. For this last week, I didn't film this, but we did a mock run through of a DEKA Strong. She does, when she's hosting an event, she'll usually do a prep class. So if you are a beginner and you're wanting to do something like a DEKA or a DEKA mile, look up the gyms around you if you're in the United States that may be doing them, and they probably offer some sort of course, some kind of prep program for you to do it. And if not, then just going through the movements. And Yeniz, she offered lots of tips, like for the sled push, like just testing by pushing on against a wall. You can test by pushing, so if you don't have a tank, pushing like an actual sled. The thing is that pushing a sled and pushing the tank is completely different, because the tank's designed to push back against you. So it's a different type of resistance than pushing weight. Pushing the sled to me is so much easier, even with like a crazy amount of weight on it, than pushing the sleds. So, and that's another thing that I've done, is that I know the weights and the intensity for everything. So like, instead of doing the women's weight on some things, I've been doing it with the men's weight. Like the dead ball over the shoulder, I typically do that with like a higher weight or the men's weight. I think I've only done the men's weight once. On the sled push, like the tank, I've been doing it on the men's resistance. I do not think in the very beginning of my journey, I would not have doing the DEKA would not have been beneficial to me. However, doing my mile for time, I feel like having these non-scale points of measure, so the DEKA of course is different than a mile for time or doing 3 miles for time, but I've gotten progressive with those forms of measurement, and that's kept me competitive with myself and improving and proving to me, for me, that what I'm doing is working and that I'm improving. And I think finding something that motivates and encourages you in that way is so important. So it doesn't have to look like what I'm doing at all. But if DEKA is something that you're interested in, then, you know, just starting where you're at. So if you haven't been exercising, just start by walking, and walk as far as you can. If you can walk for 5 minutes, and that's great. And then maybe doing that with some movements against the wall. Like when I started, I was doing push-ups and I was just using the wall. And that's what Yeniz showed, like doing burpees, but using a bench. And when I started, I used the bar on a squat rack, and I had it up really high, and I was just simulating that movement. I think doing those things have helped me progress and have kept me motivated. So I hope that this helps. This first week of my series, I've enjoyed it. I've averaged 15,000 steps a day, which is what I was aiming for, and I'm really happy for that. And I'm excited to share with y'all my weigh-in on Wednesday. So I look forward to seeing you there. If you haven't and you'd like to, subscribe so you can follow along, ding the bell so you'll be notified when the episodes go live. And if you have any questions about DEKA or anything really, just drop them in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday.